Everyone, welcome to our LinkedIn Live event today. We're excited to have you joining us, and our guest speaker today is Marianne Harris. You can find us on any social media platform wherever you hang out, so we would encourage you to look for us and join us. Real Estate Closing Path. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and we would love to have you follow us and keep in touch with what's new and what's next in our industry. And then our founder, I know some of you know her, but if you do not, Marianne Harris, again, has been in the industry for a long time. You can see her background here, that she began in a law firm in 1990, obtained a paralegal degree in 92. In 97, she began as a law firm administrator where she reconciled escrow accounts, and then saw a need in the industry to help with more solutions for escrow account reconciliation, and so that was her beginning. And then she has just evolved and grown since then. She founded RECP in 2021, which was again created to provide training in all aspects of the closing industry. And again, we offer in-person, remote training, and then we can also offer lunch and learns as well. So again, that's who we are, that's what we do, and we're just excited to have Marianne with us today. And Sandy, I'm going to turn things over to you, and I'm excited to hear what Marianne's going to share with us today.
Well, thank you so much. Welcome everybody, and welcome Marianne. We're so excited to be able to share your perspective on our company and the industry as well. So if you would start by telling everybody what was your idea for Real Estate Closing Path? What led you to want to develop that?
Well, after being in the industry as long as I have and seeing it evolve through different segments of our, I guess you could call it the dry season and the heavy season, I was seeing that there was not new talent coming into the industry. So while we had the downfalls and the ups and the down and again and up, it keeps going up and down, but I'm not seeing people coming in. But every time we have a downfall, I see more people exiting, not coming back. So it made me realize what's going to happen one day when our seasoned people actually decide to retire, because that's just where we're heading to. That's our goal, is to retire and still be able to enjoy life, but to continue to build up the industry with strength of knowledge. And I realized while I was out there checking, there was really nobody doing that. Yes, underwriters do a great job. They'll try to offer education pieces to their agents. There are other things out there. There are things where, there's those ongoing seminars that go out throughout the year of continuing education, but there wasn't something separate that focused on new talent coming in to help the communities have awareness of the real estate industry and how many job offers it offers out there. You know, when you talk to people and you tell them you're in real estate, they immediately think you're a realtor or that you're a broker, and you're like, no, I'm really this, and they had no idea that all these other positions existed. So I realized, in kind of doing some research with technology improving, that there needed to be a training program that could really reach out to the communities that we all work in, we live in, and that we try to connect with, that we should try to touch those people that support us, whether they're coming to our office to do closings, where they go and reach out to a realtor or to a broker. They're feeding us the business, but I felt like we need to touch them and bring them into the industry, but not just bringing someone in, but to actually deepen and start to build their roots in the community of real estate. One is that it'll stay long term, because the more you spend time and educate, the stronger someone feels, and to shrink our liabilities that I see happen throughout the seasons, where you might see a defalcation or someone's had an issue with a title. You want to make sure we cover the gaps that seem to come through over
So we're going to train up some new leaders.
Absolutely, we definitely need it.
Great.
It's not. We're not ever going to stop doing closings. Now it may evolve and change over time because of the industry changes and technology and so on, because COVID even showed that to us over the last few years. But we definitely need to get those people that could really make an impact to continue this industry, to continue to strengthen it.
Good. Well, how do you think, what benefit is Real Estate Closing Path to the settlement firms, to the attorneys and the title company?
Well, there's two parts to it. One is they can reach out to RECP when they're looking for new talent for an entry-level position, because what y'all do is y'all bring in the awareness, you bring in the terminology, the understanding of the documents, not just, hey, here's the software, start plugging in. There's more to it. They need to understand what these documents mean and the purpose of them. So when they're putting the stuff into the software settlements, then they're doing it correctly because they have understanding of it. Some people will say state of injury is much more than that. Yes, it's punching in numbers, but it's understanding how these documents are coming from the lenders or their real estate contract coming in, how it leads into the connection and building the file into putting them at the closing table. So with that piece, it will help to give opportunities for people to hire new staff without having to pay high price. I've also realized in my research that the headhunters, the job people that say I can fill those positions for you, don't really have that kind of talent that they can offer because they don't specialize in this industry. Sure, they may go out and find some resumes, but they don't understand it because they're trying to fill in the gaps for all different industries. But with us, or with when y'all are sitting there training, RECP is unique because it's just real estate based. We're not trying to do medical fields, we're not trying to do another type of field or engineering, we're focusing on the real estate industry. And so I realized if we could really focus on that, it could become a job placement for people. And then while they're there, still continue to invest in those workers so they stay with you long term. Because I found, even being a business owner myself, the more you invest in your own staff, the more they start to believe in you because you're believing in them. And if they continue to feed them back to us, we can continue to strengthen their knowledge as they progress and move on to other positions in the firms.
So it's so much better for them than hiring somebody off the street.
Absolutely.
With no experience and no training.
You got more liability that opens on your firm, with your firm. If they come with experience, you're not having to take time out from your busy day teaching them. And even though we know every office uniquely works differently, the baseline is all the same. The foundation's all the same. They might have a different software that they may have to learn, or different office procedures they have to go through. But at the end of the day, the foundation is really the same across the board.
Okay. How do you think it's better for our students? Once they complete some of our classes and they go to work in a firm, how is that better for them than if they hadn't done it?
Confidence. Most people lack confidence, even in their personal life. We do try to build confidence where we even do some self-teaching of, I know y'all have done a great job on teaching just the professionalism, the ethics, because it's just as important that the person answering the phone is polite and has good customer service, so that the realtors want to come back. That's your welcome mat, is your receptionist.
Right.
So you want to teach the ethics, the professionalism, the customer service, because we are in a customer service field.
Right. Well, how do you see the industry changing in the next 4 or 5 years? I mean, we know how much it's changed over the past several years, and we've seen a lot of change in the last 20 or 30 years.
Absolutely.
But where do you see the industry going?
Oh gosh, that's a tricky question because so many states operate differently. We do have those few attorney states that are left that function kind of within the same, with a little bit of different dynamics, and you have the title base. That I would say is, with software and technology improving, I'm hoping it leads more people into the industry to get more awareness out there. So over the next 4 to 5 years, my hope is that we can expand our RECP nationally so that we can really strengthen and broaden it's more of the experience, it's more of the seasoned people coming back into play that was here 20 years ago that is now exiting and wanting to retire and enjoy their life. We definitely need to bring in that wave for the next 4 to 5 years, because that's where we're in retirement mode right now. So the people that I met in my younger years, they're now reaching that peak of, I've been doing this for so long, the burnout period. It's either burnout or I'm ready to retire, I'm just ready to, or make a small change in their life. So the next 4 to 5 years is really crucial that we get some new blood in here and get some more people that get the time to get established, to still try to connect to those seasoned people so they have a mentor in their office and as well as RECP continue to be a mentor for the new people.
How do you think our training needs to evolve to accommodate what we see coming down the road?
Well, we of course started out in class, and that was just 3 years ago when we started doing the in class. We've already evolved into the virtual training. We found that that was a good thing because people's lives are busy. They have to, organize their day-to-day time on the time of this, or place this into their busy lives. So I found that, I think, Janice kept telling me, Marianne, we need to do virtual, we need to do virtual. Of course I said, no, I like to see people, I like to touch people, because I'm a visual person.
Me too.
And then, you and I both were like, virtual, oh my gosh, that's something new. But found that a lot of people received it well.
Yeah, here we are.
And here we are. So not only are we now doing new person training, but we're doing advanced training. And we realize time is important for people who are already in the industry. And while that the season is a little dry right now with new hires, one of my lanes I wanted to create was that advanced training. So while people came through the beginning program, they still had other avenues to continue to strengthen their knowledge over the years. But then it gave us time to focus on the people that are already in the industry. And maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they got thrown into the pot when COVID unfortunately hit us in a bad direction. It blessed the real estate industry because people started moving. They realized they didn't have to stay put in one city.
Right.
So it made the real estate industry get busy again. And people just got thrown in and said, here, do this. And they really didn't understand what they were doing. So we get a chance and opportunity to take those people and to focus on them and try to really strengthen what they've learned over the last couple of years into understanding the purpose, the here, why, where that is in the industry so that they can continue to grow. So when the industry gets busy again, it'll be that much stronger for the office staff to feel good, to be confident, to be happy with what they're doing. Because I also found when someone doesn't really know what they're doing, they're not always happy with their job. So if you really invest in them and teach them right and educate them and continue to build in them and to believe in them, then it makes their job that much more pleasant for them, which makes a happier office.
Everybody. Makes it better for everybody.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And since we've created these workshops, we're able to compress time
Yes.
so that it doesn't take so much time for everybody to learn.
Absolutely.
So more people are able to engage.
Yes, and strengthen not just one person in that office, but the whole staff. And that's one reason we kind of incorporate lunch and learns.
Right.
Is while we're not as busy as we were, we all get that breathing room. I call it kind of your spring clean your office, where we all have to spring clean our house. We all just love going through our closets, taking things out. It's a good time to spring clean your office. Get to those positions to strengthen them, focus on them.
Take inventory.
Yes, just like we do at home, your office has to have inventory to see what parts need some more focus or what parts might need a little bit of shape and adjustment to make it more productive, because we work for money. We work for the end result, which is to lower your liability and to strengthen your profit. That's just the name of the game, no matter how you look at it. When you're reading all these publications that come out, you're seeing people's, what percentage they've dropped or what percentage they raise. And it is within every aspect of every business entity. And, the people make the business, the people make the industry. There's computers, there's technology that gives us opportunity, but it's the people. So we have to remember we're all people, and we all need to keep investing into our people.
Each other.
Yes, and then it strengthens and invests back into the real estate community.
We sure appreciate your vision in how you can see in the different aspects. What tips would you have for business owners just starting out, particularly women business owners?
I would say patience is one thing. Been in business for 23 years. With 23 years, I've had a lot of challenges, but I've also learned to not take in stress, but to put it out in front of me and to be organized, but to have patience and faith. Faith got me through many days while I wasn't sure how I was going to make payroll. We all been through those days, and you know what? God's always.
And we're glad you do.
Yes, and God, patience. My business really taught me faith, because it taught me that if you keep pushing through, even in those difficult times, you keep believing in yourself, you don't give up, you will end up on the other side. And I think a lot of people don't take the time to breathe and to think and be patient. They just want to hurry and get there. But you have to take stepping stones. You have to build that foundation. So with all three entities of mine, it's about building that foundation first. Then you can keep building upward, and it keeps growing and gets stronger because your foundation's strong. And back to the people, you know, I've had almost 40 women working under all three entities. Very blessed, very grateful. But if it wasn't for everyone there, we wouldn't have what we have. So I always say it's not mine, it's ours. And I think too, it's the perspective of how people look at their business. Yes, I'm a business owner, but I'm also a team player within my business, is being there for my staff to help be a part of them and not be detached from them, because when they know that you're involved and they see you working hard, they're going to work that much harder for you.
Well, we sure appreciate it, and it's so refreshing to have the more universal vision, you know, see the big picture, because sometimes we get so caught up in our little corner of the world, we forget about the big picture.
Absolutely.
But we forget it. I mean, we appreciate you so much being able to provide an application across the spectrum of the industry, not just the settlement staff, but there's an application for attorneys, for realtors, for title examiners, for title insurance underwriters. There's application for everybody, and we certainly do appreciate you joining us today for that.